It's fall in New England, people. You know what that means. Hey Booktube, it's Kim at Middle of the Bookmarch, and this is my bookish week with my cowlick sticking up. Look at this. I can't. So there's just going to be stuff sticking up in the back there. It's my bookish week for Sunday, October 26th, I think. I don't know. 25th, 26th, I think that's right. So, I finished one book, but I still have a lot of fun stuff to talk to you about. And I'm really excited about it too because it's fun stuff. But I have been able to get so much audiobook time because of my commute. And I'm really just enjoying that because I hadn't listened to audiobooks for so long, and now I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Honestly, I'm most successful with nonfiction, so the book I finished this last week is a memoir. And this is, I'm going to swear, so if you don't like swearing, it's okay. This is Leslie fucking Jones by Leslie Jones, the comedian from Saturday Night Live. And this was super funny. Now, when I say if you don't like swearing, don't listen to this book. It's every other word is MF or F or whatever. There's all kinds of swears. She talks about a lot of stuff that I'm not even going to get into. She is extremely profane, very transparent, very confident, loud, and brilliant. She is brilliant. She is hilarious. She is extremely transparent. I don't know if I said that already. She is kind and giving and just a good person. But she talks about everything from her childhood to her young adulthood. She talks about her career. She talks about everything that she did before you knew her from Saturday Night Live. And there was a lot because she didn't really get rolling in comedy until she was older, late 30s, early 40s. She worked for a really long time at perfecting her craft. And this book there were so many parts I was laughing out loud. There are parts through the book where she is sobbing. And she's very real. She's totally truthful with the reader. The criticism I have is this is not a very long book, but on audio, it was really long, and she goes totally off text from reading the book. She's adding all kinds of stuff, ad-libbing everything. She is going on wild tangents and different stories. She sounds at times like she's doing a comedy bit or a comedy sketch. That's not all bad, but it made this book much longer than it was in print. Again, I go back to the positives. She sounds like she's having a conversation with you, or you're listening to her as she's making you crack up. So she never ever sounds like she's reading words off of a page. It's just so funny. And if I stopped for coffee in the morning, I had to turn it down or off so the people in the drive-through window could not hear MF this and F that and every other word. And I laughed about that. So if you're a fan of hers from movies, from Saturday Night Live, from comedy, you're going to love this book. If you're not really into memoirs or the profane, if you're not into celebrity memoirs, she talks a lot about other celebrities, which is good and bad. You probably wouldn't enjoy it, but I did. I really enjoyed it a lot. She talks a lot about basketball, so if you're not into that, maybe not, but she could have had a professional career in basketball. So that is it. That's the one book that I finished last week on audio. Memoirs for me are great on audio, especially if the author reads their own memoir, if they are a famous person or a celebrity, usually that's far more successful because they're probably used to performing, they're used to acting, and it doesn't ever sound like they're reading off of a piece of paper. When an author of a memoir is reading their own story, but they're not a performer, it can be really, really irritating to me because it will sound too much like they're reading right off of the page. And that's not what I'm looking for in an audiobook. So, the next 3 books are all books I'm currently reading, and they are all buddy reads. And I will be finished with at least one of them, if not 2 of them, by the next weekend, my next weekend bookish week. I have one more week left of Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. I'm reading this with Heidi and Britta. It's going well. This is a super long book, and I can recommend this so highly to so many types of readers, but there are readers that I wouldn't recommend this to. If you're not into really long books, this is not the book for you because multiple characters, multiple storylines. He's a very long-winded author, and this book was serialized. So Victorian authors of long books often made their money by serializing their works, and this is no exception. The other buddy read is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I'm reading this with our friend, Booktubes friend George, who is a subscriber and commenter to many of our channels. He and I have read several books together, and we're reading this one. And again, I think I only have one more section, one more week to go. This book I absolutely love. It's a reread for me. I read it many, many years ago, so I love John Steinbeck, and revisiting this book has been an absolute joy. And I am reading Ariadne by Jennifer Saint with our friend Judy Brown. And this one is a super quick read, and it's a much shorter book. And it's a mythological retelling of the character of Ariadne, who she's a human, so she doesn't take a huge part in Greek mythology. But quite often, authors that do mythological retellings are pulling one name of one minor character out of somewhere, and they are writing a whole story, and that's what this is, and I'm enjoying that one. Here's the back of this book. This is a Book of the Month Club edition, and all of these apply to the story. So those are the 3 books I'm currently reading, the 1 book I've finished. What are the fun things that I've been doing this past week? Oh my gosh, I've had so much bookish fun, and I'm going to show you those in a second. My daughter and I went to 2 library sales. 2. And I'm going to do 2 midweek videos this coming week, and one of them will be a library book sale haul. I know I've had a lot of hauls lately, and floating around on BookTube is the project for Read What You Own, or read from your shelf. And it's so tempting, and this is a yearly ongoing BookTube project. So many wonderful BookTubers take part in this, and it comes up all the time, and I'm so tempted to try it. I'm so tempted to read what I own. If I only read what I owned for the rest of my life and never bought a new book, I doubt, well, maybe not. Maybe that's not true. If I read 100 books a year for 8 years, I could read every book I own by the time I'm 66 years old. But I'm tempted and I'm not tempted. I just simply don't think I can not buy books. I'm trying to slow down, and I'm very cheap. So I'll buy a bag full of books from a library book sale. But I don't buy large quantities of books from, regular bookstore haul or that type of thing. I will buy a book here. Why am I explaining this? You don't want to hear that part. But I'm so tempted to do Read What You Own, and then ultimately, sorry about that. I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm human. I can't not buy books, nor do I want to stop myself from buying books. Yes, the cheap part of me does want to stop myself. Am I going to? No, I'm not going to, because I have too much fun doing it. And I will look for more library sales, although in New Hampshire, this type of year, the end of October, beginning of November, the library sales completely peter out, mostly because winter's coming. I sound like Game of Thrones. Winter's coming, and library sales aren't going to open up in the middle of winter. You can't, if you live in New England, driving is horrible. So the library sales are slowing down. Usually by March or April, they pick back up again. So that's why most of my library book hauls are in different months of the year. But we did buy a bunch of books. I bought a bunch of books for myself, I think over a dozen at 2 different library sales. So I'll have that video for you coming up this week. 2 more things. I did acquire something that I pre-ordered a couple of months ago from Library of America. And I'm going to unwrap this. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet. This is the Joan Didion collection from Library of America. And it's a 3-volume set. It's still in the plastic. So I'm going to quickly get it out of the plastic. And it shouldn't take me long, but I did not even cut it open to start to make it easy on myself. An interesting thing about Library of America, and I do have a Library of America collection that I had highlighted on my channel in the past. I may do an update. I absolutely love Library of America, and they catalog so many American classic authors. One of the things that I've noticed, though, is the ratio of female authors to male authors is quite low. And so whenever I see a Library of America volume written by either a female author or an author of color or an author of a different race, I will pick those up unless I'm truly 100% uninterested. But Joan Didion I am quite interested in, so I have this 3-volume set. This set includes Slouching Toward Bethlehem, Play It As It Lays, The White Album, The Year of Magical Thinking, Blue Nights, among many, many others. And it's like, here's the front, here's one of the pictures on the box, and here's the back picture of the box. I absolutely love this set. And if I take them out, these are, Library of America has different bindings. These are a black cover, black dust jacket with the red, white, and blue striping across the middle. And the front of the book will tell you all of the works in that volume. This one is the 60s and the 70s, and there she is on the cover. This one is the 80s and the 90s. There's her. And then the last one is Memoirs and Later Writings. There she is, later in her life. I've read a few of her works. The Year of Magical Thinking was one of the best essays on grief that I've ever read, and it's included in this volume. Now, when you take the dust jacket off of a Library of America book, this is what you see. And this one is in tan, and it has her name and on the spine. The paper, this is acid-free paper, and it also includes a ribbon bookmark in all of these volumes. These are absolutely beautiful books. And I love collecting American classics. I love collecting Library of America. Many of the volumes I have are individual volumes that are boxed in its own slipcover. This one was the set, and I am absolutely thrilled to own it. So I was so happy. The box came in, and I'm like, I don't think I ordered anything lately from Library of America. And then I realized I did a pre-order. I did something super smart. So that is one thing I was so happy to get in the mail. And one last thing I wanted to show you, my daughter and I, I'm filming this on Saturday. This was one of our library book sale days. We went in the morning, and then we went and walked around downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire, into all the little shops. It was pretty chilly today, and I was underdressed, wasn't quite ready for the weather, even though I had my long sleeve pumpkin spice sweatshirt on. I did not have long sleeves underneath, so we probably could have stayed out a little longer, but I was too cold. But downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire has amazing shops. We went into a bookstore. I'd spent more money there. I'll probably show you that. I'll throw that book in with the library book haul. And we just went into some really super duper stores. There was one store that I absolutely loved, and I got a bumper sticker. I love reading banned books. And there were all kinds of other, you can't see my mouth, but I am speaking. There were all kinds of other bookish related paraphernalia, but this is going straight onto my car. There was another one, my daughter pointed it out, that said reading is sexy. It was super cute. I also think I already have a bumper sticker on my car. or it may have, I don't know, I don't even remember if it's still there. It's another Bookish bumper sticker. It may have come off, but I am going to happily and quickly put that on my car. And I'm not really a bumper sticker person. I don't put a bunch of stuff on my car. That's going on there, as I've said several times. That is it for me. Let me know in the comments below what you think about anything I talked about, any of the books I showed you. Let me know if you read anything for Victober, if you're finishing out the Victober month. And November's coming up. November is Nonfiction November. I don't do TBRs. November is Nonfiction November, and I am going to start off by trying to read one nonfiction book. For all of the BookTube events, I don't typically follow the prompts until I get to Mental Health May, which is my personal BookTube read-along with Marilyn Maya Mendoza. But aside from that, I can't keep up with the number of prompts and activities. So I will try to read one nonfiction book in November. I have so many good choices, but we'll see what happens. Let me know if you're going to take part, if you're going to read one nonfiction book in November, or if you read nonfiction like so many of my wonderful BookTube friends, let me know if you're going to read all nonfiction or even more nonfiction than you normally would. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.